Okay, so I love questions. No? I love asking them, I love answering them. And as a gay man, for me, it's very important to look into straight people's questions for gay people because they tell us so much about how they think, specifically how they think about us. And this presentation is inspired by one of my classes in Tacloban, specifically my lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender psychology class, which is historic in several respects, being the first, and thus far the only course of its kind in the whole Visayas, and the second in the whole Philippines. And when we started this class, we started looking into the questions that straight people usually ask of gay people. And I'd like to show you some classic gay questions. The usual format is that you have a straight person who knows a gay person, and this straight person usually has a whole host of questions for the gay person who unfortunately is kind of forced to answer that question, like, when did you realize you were gay? Or, will you still change? Which implies that being gay or being lesbian is just a phase, that any moment or months from now perhaps you will become straight, maybe back to being gay or lesbian again. And there are other classic gay questions that are usually asked by straight people. And one of these questions would be pertaining to our relationships. And like asking us whether our relationships are based on monetary rewards or whether we're giving money to our partners, which implies really that there is no such thing as serious relationship when it comes to LGBT people, and there is no such thing as true love. Interestingly, a lot of people are also interested in our sex life, which is kind of great actually. But always ask us, how do you have sex? No? And that again implies that straight people usually just know one modality of sex, which is like straight sex, specifically in vagina sex, or oral kind of sex. And finally, we also have classic gay questions pertaining to family acceptance, like have you come out, or when did you come out, what happened? And this all brings about stereotypical images of the alpha male, alpha father kicking out the son, or the lesbian daughter being kicked out of the house for being lesbian. And so my class thought of turning the table around. And we came up with an exhibit, but this time we asked the gay people to ask the questions for the straight people. We came up with this cheeky exhibit entitled, Kailan mo nalaman na straight ka? Or when did you realize first? I'd like to share some of the pictures from the exhibit. And this gay man is asking, why do you as a straight man, why don't you try or chase other guys? No? In this case, we're problematizing heterosexuality because everyone is asking, why are you gay? Why are you a lesbian? But nobody's asking, why are straight people straight? In other words, why are you attracted to the opposite sex? Which is just as valid as asking why you're attracted to the same sex. Nobody's asking that question. That can be an academic question. That can be a relevant question. And that is a sensible question to ask as well. So many people are asking us whether this is just a phase, but isn't it just as valid to ask straight people whether it's just a phase? The straight people in this room might turn out to be gay or lesbian a few months or a few years from now. Okay? That's why I always say in class, I am currently gay because I never know tomorrow or a few months from now. And in terms of community or being very sure, how sure are you really that you're straight? Because if you haven't tried a person of the same sex, how can you be sure you're straight? And if you already had, are you really straight? So that's the question. And then the words bakla, bayot, or gay have been used in a very, very pejorative sense. No? And then this gay guy here is asking, would you also feel so that if you keep on telling you or shouting at you straight to your face? Doesn't that sound absurd? But I think you get the point. I think there are more classic gay questions like, should we heard that I'm here saying, Saya, or don't you regret being gay? But what about you straight people? Don't you regret that you were straight? You could have been gay and happy. In terms of family acceptance, okay, so you keep on asking us whether we're accepted, but what about the straight people who will eventually have, hopefully, straight children? Okay. Will you accept, or will you be able to accept having a gay kid or having a gay child in the family? Maybe that's a better and more important question to think about. Now, why are we asking all of these questions? Why is it important to ask all of these questions? Because we would like to point out that yes, we're different from each other. Okay, you're straight, I'm not, or more appropriately, I'm gay, you're not. Okay, but is that difference really significant to warrant all of these misconceptions, all of this stigma, and all of this prejudice? Because at the end of the day, we may not be that different apart from our sexual orientation. Another thing that we would like to point out is that just because you're straight doesn't mean that you get to set the standard. Okay? It's really all very, very political. It's because straight people hold the power, but okay, that shouldn't be the case because a lot of gay people have something to offer to the table, to our society specifically. And what I always want to point out in my class is that being straight does not necessarily mean normal. You know what? Heterosexuality, it's just common. It's not normal. Crime is common, but is it normal? I mean, I don't mean to offend straight people. I don't parallel with crime and heterosexuality, but I think you get my point. But you know what's being normal? Okay, this is what my students said. Okay? It's just being who you are, regardless of your sexual orientation. That's really normal. And ultimately, we're asking all of these questions because we want people to understand that at the end of the day, our sexual orientation, our gender identity, our gender expression, these things do not matter. There are so many other things in life that matter, like being a better person, being a better lover perhaps, being kinder to ourselves and to other people. It doesn't matter who you go to bed as or who you go to bed with. Like, seriously.
We're learning a lot tonight, so